Greetings, class. We are here to talk about real estate investing, the market, lifestyle, and to help you with any type of real estate financing, real estate acquisition, real estate disposition. What are you doing with your finances? Every Sunday at 7:30, Kris Haskins and Dan Borrero, we come on live to help you with whatever it is you're doing real estate related. Oh, damn. And we've got a special guest with us tonight. Hopefully he'll be on here. I don't even want to announce his name yet till he gets here. But we're going to talk about a little bit of politics. Hopefully Dan will not get so upset that he will come through the screen on us as he usually does in the Brooklyn way. You don't want to see Dan get mad I hate to see the people driving around in Brooklyn when he gets mad. And talking about politics is no doubt is going to make his blood boil. Dan Borrero, how you doing?
Man, I'm having some technical difficulties here tonight, man, setting up. I don't know
What's
why.
wrong? Oh, take your time.
Yeah, it is.
Jessica, what up? I love
What's
it. You know
going
what,
on, Jessica?
I love that name. They said, Dan, you the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
Hold up. What am I? I'm the baby goat. Dan, you the baby goat. We're going to be taking your phone calls here tonight, answering your questions. Let me cut this thing on here. I don't know why. But Gerald Peters, hopefully, will be joining us soon. Well, here he is. Okay, the man. We're going to be taking questions too. Gerald Peters.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Mr. Peters?
How you guys doing?
Good, man.
We're good now. We got you.
Yes.
Full auto. Gerald, where you at?
Man, I'm at home. That's my green screen. Where are you guys at? I'm in Texas right now. I'm heading to New Orleans on Tuesday.
You in Dallas or you would?
I live about an hour north of Houston, a small town called Huntsville.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, man. I was happy to be invited.
Yep.
Got always invite Gerald.
Dan is one of a kind.
Watching the stock market and crypto come down.
You want to share your screen real quick, Gerald? Let's see what you're seeing.
Yeah. Let me get set here.
Gerald is a stock / real estate / all around great guy. Very knowledgeable, wisdom. Been doing this. How long you been in the game, Gerald?
Man, 23 years, I guess. 19. I don't know if we count the first 5 or 6, but doing well, about 15.
So it's like the first 5 or 6 is the learning curve, right?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, right? Save people from having to spend so much time learning. That's
right. That's the problem. Guys, we're going to open up the lines in a minute, but we want to hear from Gerald. He is our expert for the night regarding this tariff thing regarding Trump and just the market in general. Gerald has his pulse on crypto policies, stocks, options, all this craziness. What you seeing, Gerald?
It seems to be getting worse here. I'm looking at Bitcoin. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Yes, sir. We got you live.
Yeah, so we're at Bitcoin's at 96,323.
Wow. Came down.
So if you notice, these bars here are red, and everything's pointing down. So usually when I get something like that, not to bore the audience, because I know not everybody's into stocks, but once it bounces off one blue line, tends to go to the other. So that's about another $6,000-$7,000 down. What I've learned with Bitcoin is that it tends to. It's basically the NASDAQ. You know, it's just a leveraged version of technology. Whatever Bitcoin's doing is what the rest of the market tends to do, man. Or vice versa. They kind of play off each other, right? That is not how we saw. I mean, I don't know. On Friday, it started to look weak. Let me see if I can't pull up the after hours right now.
Is that big swing right there? Is that November, Gerald? The big swing right in the middle of the screen?
This right here was that big. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, each one of these is 1 day. So this is right now. This was today where it opened. It went down. This is where it's at. So each one of these bars, you can just back it up. So all the way back to back over here in September and October when we started this big run.
Yep.
I mean, it went from 60,000 to 107.
Good Lord.
And all these lines you see, I kind of use them in my interpretation of what I think is happening,
Mm-hmm.
That's literally where I came from. I put out a thing called the Peters Report every Sunday night, and that's Well, what sucks though is as you're working on it all day you try to get ahead on Friday, you're working on Saturday, and then shit falls apart Sunday night. And you're like, okay, we're going to go with what I was thinking. And then let's see what happens at the open, man. Because it wasn't this bad at the, on Friday, you know? Let me see.
Guys, let us know where you're chiming in from. Please put your name and your city in the chat. If you live in the middle of nowhere, put your state name, city, and or state.
Let me see.
So
if
again, guys, this is Dan
you,
Borrero-Kris Haskins, Gerald Peters going on live, as Chris and I do every single Sunday night. Tonight we have a special guest on, Gerald Peters, and I got to tell you, Gerald, man, I can't thank you enough for jumping on, especially with the last minute invite.
Wow, guys, I'll show you this one. This is what you see in pink is the after hours since we closed.
Oh my
Friday.
Lord.
So
what is that? Is that that's the whole market right there?
This is the NASDAQ. So your Nvidias, Apples, all that stuff.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. What is that on the after hours? What are we down so far?
We're coming down. I'm not seeing that. I'm on a 1 minute chart, so I'm not seeing the, oh no, that's a 5 minute chart. It looks like 2.5%, 3%.
How many points is that?
What is that? Not that many points. This is a NASDAQ. So that was, we closed around 522, I guess. Now we're at 519. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a chunk. Let me pull
What
up.
about the S&P 500, Gerald?
That's what I'm going to pull up here.
Gerald, go ahead and do it. Give us some narration for us, those of us that don't necessarily do this every day.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We got some members in here, y'all.
Well,
what up?
Let me give some introduction to who Gerald is. So, your audience, you know, we're always talking about real estate, Kris Haskins and I. But the reality is that the market and the real estate, the stock market and the real estate market, you know, they coincide with each other. And if you don't understand both sides, both sides and what actually affects the stock market and how that could affect the real estate business, you're going to really you're starting behind the 8 ball. So again, I can't thank Gerald for coming on here tonight. Gerald is my mentee, my mentor when it comes to investing in the stock market, including crypto. I mean, you know, I'm a very fortunate man that I could just text Gerald and he'll, you know, quickly answer me back. So Gerald's been is on here. Take advantage when we put up the phone number if you guys have any questions for either Gerald, Chris, or myself.
Looks like the Dow's down 500 and something points right now. And yeah, it's a little over. Says Dow drops 450 points as Trump hits the U.S. trading partners with tariffs. So it looked like he hit what? China. I mean, not China, but he hit Mexico. He hit Canada.
So he hit China with 10%.
10%.
Mexico and Connecticut and Canada with 25%. Mexico's already responded, but Canada has responded with a fury. So I'm going to give you guys some numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pissed. Yeah, the Nasdaq's down 2.1% right now. So that's
what does that mean, Gerald?
At the open, dude.
Tell us, give us in your macro. What does that mean, or what is that saying?
I mean, I'm a buyer. I mean, because here's the thing: fundamentally, nothing has changed, right? This is just shit on paper. Unless he's going to hold to it. Says he placed a 10% levy on imports from China. That's not that much, man. The U.S. does approximately 1.6 trillion, so 10% on that. I mean, yeah, it's going to cause inflation. I mean, that's the big thing, right? That's what.
Explain that, Gerald.
Yeah, because he's adding a cost to all the products that we're buying, and a lot of these costs isn't the finished product; it's the import. It's this
raw materials.
The raw materials, yeah. The earth, the rare earth, the metals, the lumber. Because I'm sure Canada's shipping some lumber, right?
Yeah, according to Canada, they're going to put a 25% tariff on all alcohol because apparently Canadians love American beer and American.
Oh, this is their hit back. They're going to hit us back.
They're also going to put. They're also going to decrease the oil flow. Apparently, we get 4 400 million gallons of oil. 400 million barrels of oil a day from Canada. So they're going to slow that down by 40%. They're also going to put Mexico is putting a 25% tariff across the board. But what we get mostly from Mexico, besides food products,
Illegal.
is the parts that go into the cars in Michigan.
Right.
So they're expecting that the car prices will go up on an average of $3,000 across the board.
Right.
So the states that are going to be most affected with the gas prices apparently are going to be in the Midwest, the Rocky Mountains, and the Great Lakes.
Yeah, this here says Ontario's removing all American alcohol from the shelves.
I wouldn't be mad at them. I'm not even mad at them.
So, I mean, I guess there's a few publicly traded companies in the alcohol, but there's all kind of component parts to that, right?
And the other part is that the Canadians apparently buy $125 billion of American goods a year.
Damn.
So that is going to slow down, which is going to cause some. I'm assuming that will have to slow down our economy here.
Why would we want to? If I was Canada, why would I want to keep bringing American liquor in? I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's the same effect. I mean,
they don't. What do they manufacture? I'm trying to think of a Canadian car. Is there a Canadian car?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of.
Right. So they have to import cars, right?
Yeah.
So the
other thing is, the political leaders in Canada, they're bitching. The biggest thing they're really griping about is that the trade agreement they made last was with Donald Trump. And yes, their argument is he is now violating his own trade agreement that he negotiated with them.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that either. Back in 16, 17.
Yep.
What you got here, Gerald?
This was the Ford chart. I just started, I'm just trying to think of stocks that it would hit. I mean, alcohol, that's not too big. That's not a big deal, but you start getting into Ford cars,
So where do you see the market going tomorrow, Gerald? Do you see I see it opening up less tomorrow?
We're going to go down, but I think what you watch is not so much what goes down is what goes up. That's more important, because the whole market's going to go down, because if the futures go down, it's confusing, but as the futures go down, they have to reset the prices on these stocks at the open, even though it has nothing to do with that stock. So like, think about AT&T. What does AT&T have to do with this? Or Verizon, or HubSpot, or just pure American companies that are doing business in America. What do they have to do with this if they're not importing anything? But you're going to see all stocks are going to come down. And so a lot of times these are just opportunities to pick up what you like, especially if what you like has already been getting beat up.
So where do you see, a stock like NVIDIA that's already gotten beat up?
That's what I'm saying. I would be targeting those kind of deals. Like we started buying it on this week. We started buying NVIDIA, and there was technical reasons. Like, it stopped at this blue line. Once you're below this blue line, yellow, excuse me. Once you're below this yellow line you see on the screen,
yep,
you'll see it hit it, come down, hit it, come. This is actually one of my strategies, is I wait. And you'll see over here where it bounced off it. But once you get above it, it tends to bounce off it. Why? It's just psychology, man. A lot of the market in real estate and a lot of this is just psychology. It's just, if we all believe it, it happens. You know what I mean? Like,
Gerald, when you say bounce and come down, or bounce and stay up, what are you saying?
Yeah. So like, let me pull this up here. If you notice,
guys, get a thumbs up for Gerald on here. Give him a thumbs up.
If you notice over here,
let's put up the phone number so people could call in.
All right, cool.
Each one of these is a day. So you had a big red down day. If you can see my cursor here, and then it stopped right on that yellow line. Mm-hmm. Then you see it stopped again, and then it went up.
Is that yellow line what you're putting down after Gerald or before?
Right here. You see it?
I see. I mean, what is this yellow line? Break that. What is the line?
That yellow line is a 200-day average of price.
Got it.
All right, guys.
Now-
This is a live that Chris Haskins and I we do every.
You
single
muting Dan? Go ahead. I'll mute Dan. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking.
So for whatever reason, banks, institutions, big players, hedge funds, endowment funds, they look. And if a stock is above that yellow line, they think it's bullish. If it's below it, they think it's bearish.
Get
Simple as
out
that.
of here.
Yeah, and you'll see it bounce. I've actually created a whole strategy around this fucking yellow line. And what I do is I wait on high quality stocks to drop below it and then set up.
Joe, you are amazing.
We call that the B&B, bread and butter, man. It's such there's rules to it. One, it's got to be a huge company. Two, they got to pay a dividend and they got to be able to keep paying it no matter what, And then we just wait for it to happen. A couple recent ones like Exxon. Yeah, it's just used by institutional players. I hate to get too in the weeds. It's kind of like getting into wiring on a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless people are just really interested in wiring, it can get a little, little in the weeds. But these are things that give you edges. Like if you're in real estate, understanding contracts, understanding how to deal with contractors, understanding the yellow line, all these little things give you an edge, right? And we want to put as many of those on our side as we can. So, I study fundamentals too. I don't put near as much stock in like what's happening right now until it prints on this chart and I can look at it.
Mm-hmm. 1 second.
Once I see
Let me
it,
get you.
yeah, then it's different. Because right now, if you've ever read The Art of the Deal, Trump's idea is to like talk a lot of shit, go out there with the worst possible thing, and then see what they come back with.
Caller,
Yeah.
1 second. Let me get you on here.
Yeah. Well, we got somebody calling in.
Yeah, we do. 1 second.
Cool.
Bluetooth here.
Trying to think of let's look at
Caller,
Exxon.
you there? Caller, you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
All right, hold on 1 second. I have an issue with my connections here.
Oof.
Bluetooth.
I bought a little of this XRP today, though.
Actually, I just bought some more.
What's that, XRP?
31.
Yeah.
Gerald, they just hit 231. I bought some more before I came on.
Uh-oh, did I miss something?
So I watch these little lines here. When they go red, I'm a buyer.
Golly.
Gerald,
They call that the relative strength index.
the
These lines
people
you see
that-
here. Go ahead.
the people that don't really buy individual stocks they don't follow Gerald Peters. They don't know who Gerald Peters are.
Right.
They don't really get. Is the S&P 500 a good index to buy tomorrow?
No.
Let's see. Would I buy it tomorrow?
Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Dan, I got technical difficulties. I can't hear y'all.
Uh-oh.
Chat. Caller, hold on, please. Has some issues going here. Settings.
Yeah, I mean, you could nibble tomorrow. It's not a discount or anything. As long as it's above this green line, I'm looking to buy below the green line. We have to kind of see where it opens because this could open down big and then turn right around and head straight up, and we won't know till it opens. I'd be shocked, though, if we broke this right in here.
Caller, can you hear us? I don't know.
Chris, I can hear you perfect, Chris.
Yeah, I can too.
I hear Gerald here, but I can't get our call on here. USB chat, USB 2 sounds.
Is there any specific stocks you're going to be looking at tomorrow?
This is what I always play during the.
What is that shit?
That's from the Purge.
Caller, you there? Nope. Can't get him.
Uh-oh.
Is that you, Gerald?
That was me with the buzzing thing, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was
Caller,
the
hold
first.
tight. You can hold tight. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Gerald, you know what? Stop sharing your screen. Let's see if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that could be it. Let me stop it. Yeah, there you go.
No,
Try it out.
that shouldn't have a problem with that.
Try it.
Oh, I'm trying to get the guy on here. Let me see. Roadcaster.
So,
Pro.
Gerald, what are you going to be looking at tomorrow? I'm
Really,
sure
what
you
I'm
have
more
a-
concerned with is what doesn't go down.
All right, caller. Say that Hold on. Let's take a quick question. We got to take it in the mic. You know what? We can't. All we can do is take the question. They can't. You're gonna have to take the question and then they'll have to answer live online. Call a station name. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from St. Louis.
St. Louis. What's your name, brother?
This is Daryl from St. Louis. I'm over here.
He say me?
I've been watching you too long, man. I've learned a few things as well. But I'm having a problem right now.
Uh-oh.
I've got a couple of properties, and there's one that is I have renting. And
hold on, let's stop for a minute, man. You got some property. Let's just I don't even want let's clap it up for Daryl here, dog. You got some property. All right. You are somebody, dog. I don't know if you're married and you got a good wife, but you got mad props over here. So go ahead.
I appreciate that, sir. Okay, so here's the issue. There's a property I have in this area of St. Louis. It's really good property. It's worth about $480, and I owe about $415 on it. And I'm looking at either owner financing or selling it outright because I want to use that money in it to get something else. The problem is with selling it outright, or I'm sorry, with continuing to rent it like I am now, I can't get the amount of rent I'm getting for it right now.
Wow.
Because I have a corporate renter there. So I know that getting that amount of money probably won't happen again. So I'm looking at the best way to try to address it. Either keep it because of the tax benefits I'm getting from it, or to go ahead and try to owner finance it. What do you guys think?
All right. Thanks for your question, my brother. We got to let you go.
So, Daryl, a couple of things. There's a couple of different ways. If you had a mortgage on it, it depends on what your equity is. That's number one. Number two.
He already said he owed $415 and it's worth $480. He only got $60,000.
Yeah, it's not a lot in a house.
Really?
That big, right?
He's got no grand, right, Gerald?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, after your closing costs, after you pay back your loan,
realtor fees,
you're gonna be lucky.
You got nothing.
38,000.
You got nothing. Because don't forget repairs, Dan. Inspection repairs.
Yeah, if you sell or finance this, I don't see how you're gonna do that.
Why not?
Well, okay. Is it worth doing? Especially if you need the money to move on to another bigger project.
What you mean? I don't get it. He owed $415. Ain't no money to get out of it.
Yeah.
Ain't no money to get out of it unless he does sell or finance it.
So what does he do? He keeps paying the mortgage, and I see what you're saying.
Ain't nothing to get out of it.
It would depend what the down payment is. There's really not much equity there to do much with.
Man, nothing really to do much.
I must have missed the first part. Why does he need to do anything? Like,
he got a midterm rental and that's coming to an end. So that high cash flow is going to be going away.
Gotcha.
So he's going to have to put a regular tenant in it. Yeah, that's going to be you. Huh?
And it's not going to cover that mortgage. Is that his problem?
No, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's a dog. Sell it.
Dump.
Hey, let me tell you, and I want Daryl to know this. All three of us on this screen have had those type of dogs.
No, I call them alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if the numbers were better, I mean, I've gone in and put another 10 or 15 down, redo the loan. Like say there's an opportunity because right now rates are going lower, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe I don't know when he bought it, but maybe there's a point there. If there was a point there, and we took a little bit of money in at the closing, I don't know. Maybe we could bring this thing down, and it would be worth holding. I don't know.
What you think a point? What do you mean a point, Gerald? What are you talking about?
I'm saying like if he financed it at 7 and now he could get 6. I don't know.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know when he got it. I don't know how long he's had it, but maybe it was hard money financed. I don't know. Maybe his credit's improved. Maybe he could get a good solid 1% lower, and then put a little more down. And now this loan kind of turns around. I don't know. Like you guys said, it's a dog. Maybe you let it go.
It's hovering at it between 6 3/4 and 7.1.
Right.
That ain't gonna change that much.
Yeah,
Gerald.
that ain't gonna change that much. You're right.
But
You
here's the
get 2
thing.
points. You start, now it starts to. I'm just trying to help the guy. I'm trying to think.
Listen, I want to ask both of y'all, including you, my man. What was his name? That was Daryl. We must come to the realization if we have a property that is taking money out of our pocket. I talk to people every day. I'm like, dude, get rid of it. Get rid of it. And it's almost like these people want to hold on to these houses for some emotional or romantic reason. And I just, can y'all just give us something? Y'all been in this game longer than me. So help them understand.
I personally went through that dilemma last year where I
You had a bad property, Dan?
In
Florida. In Florida.
No, the one in Brooklyn. Actually, you were there, Chris, when I was doing the bathroom and the kitchen over.
You got it. Okay.
It's the one that's the third building off the corner, off the big building that we own.
I got you.
Yeah. So that building we own 30 years, and for whatever the reason is, for the past 6 to 7 years, it's been a dog. I've had
repairs, not from debt though.
There was no debt, but
repairs.
Right. I literally did the whole building over again. The only thing I owned the building for 30 years. The only thing the building needed in the next 5 years was exterior brick pointing and a new roof. So let's say I was going to be into it for 50, 60,000, right? But the reality is that no matter what I did for the last 7 years I kept having to evict every single commercial tenant. And I kept losing tenants upstairs. They never lasted more than a year and a half to 2 years. Those type of turnovers is not profitable, right? And to evict a tenant, even a commercial tenant here in the city of New York, it is havoc. It takes between 18 months and 24 months for a commercial tenant and almost 3 years for a residential tenant. So, I said to myself, sometimes you got to admit when it's not a good property. And whether I making money on it every month, I was, because I have no debt. But if I took that money and put it somewhere else, would I have made more? Yes. And I'll give you an example. So we sold that for 1.2, 1.3 million, right?
Million.
I literally paid the taxes on it. I didn't even do a 1031 on it. All I did, I put the rest of the money into a high yield brokerage account. Listen to this. I put it into
IRS liking you, dog.
Right? And I'm making more money a month.
Thank you. They don't even say thank you.
Say that again.
They don't even say fucking thank you.
He said the IRS likes you. They didn't even say thank you.
No, they didn't even send me a voucher for a meal or nothing.
Yeah, should have gave you something like at the casino, right?
Thank you. No, nothing. Matter of fact, I'd be surprised if I don't get ordered it. So, what I'm trying to say is, even though I paid the taxes, 40% of that money went in taxes. The money
I saw when you said it, I saw Gerald. I could already tell he'd been down this road before. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The money I'm getting on just a high yielding account, on the money left over from after the taxes, I'm making more money, and I'm not dealing with any tenants or court or anything.
That's nice. That's when you had a bad property. When you get out and you're making more than before you had the property, and you paid taxes.
I paid the taxes.
Damn.
So sometimes there's a dog in the mix, and I got rid of the dog.
Yeah.
Get rid of it, dog. But Gerald, can you give us something about being romantic about a property? I've been there.
Well, hold on. When you said that, the point was I had a hard time putting that up for sale because I was feeling like maybe I'm failing. But then I had to think about what was my priority, my personal feelings or my bank account.
Romanticizing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Somebody was asking what the phone number is. Is that working?
Yeah, it's in the link. I had to put. They're gonna have to come on live now. Something's going on with my technology. I'm gonna put the link.
Put the number in. You can't.
The number's not working. I can't get the. I'm gonna. It's a link they can come on video.
It's I've had these houses. The very first one I bought, I still have. It's paid for. It's a beautiful home. I actually get personally upset when people hurt it. That is not good. This is not my personal home, but I have a lot of attachment to this house. And I think we've all probably, I don't know, depending on how you did it. Like, my way coming up, I'm the guy that painted it. I'm the guy that laid the floor. I did everything. So this is my baby.
That's my
And
baby.
you got to get past that. You know that. To make any kind of money, you got to get away from that, man.
That's I laid that floor.
Exactly.
I did.
I'm like, you see that window? As you drive by, I'm telling you. Let me tell you a story about a time that I put that window in. I almost got divorced over that window. There's those stories, and that can happen.
Stay there, Gerald. Help them get away from that, dog.
Yeah, man. You have to. And Dan said it right. And I've done it with business. I should have closed this shit a year ago. And I'm still paying people. I'm actually using real estate to fund this thing that I should have already closed. And, we can get, because I think we attach ego to it that I failed. And the reality is, no, you're failing by keeping it.
Ooh.
The businessman goes, whoop, done, next, move on.
No
and as
motion.
a trader, I know this. In trading, not investing, but in house flipping, we're on to the next house, man. Like, we can't be stuck 5 houses ago still talking about that story. Like, you got to be able to do this, and it can be tough. But I've had clients call me with a one-on-one, and they're buying a home because their personal home had done so well. They're kind of seeing that as investing, and they're willing to go house poor because they think it'll appreciate. And it's like, bro, the fact that you called me about this is your inside telling you not to do this.
Now, Gerald, I have seen people in Seattle, New York, super high appreciating areas just for our supporters tonight. I have seen people do well with that strategy.
Yes. But then they'll say, okay, so my strategy is just to keep doing that.
Oh, no. Yeah, that ain't gonna.
And that is a losing strategy at some point.
All right. We can take calls. Unfortunately, I just can't answer the calls on live. We won't be able to. But if caller, you're on the land. Oh, shoot. You're on the land with Chris and Dan. If you want dialogue, there's a link in the video description, but you can ask a question and then what we can't hear is back. Go ahead.
Okay, well, my question is, again, I've been watching your videos, and like I said, I've learned a lot from you, but before I started watching you, I had to start off, I was young, so I would buy everything in cash.
How old are you?
I'm 40 right now.
Okay,
But I've been doing this since I was, maybe 30. I started doing it. I bought my first house when I was 30, and I have rental properties. I got 2 of them right now, but everything's in cash. Everything's paid off in cash. And I own a mowing company as well.
Jess, you up next. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is this Dave Ramsey?
My question is that the rental properties. I'm thinking about moving everything south. I'm in Columbus, Ohio right now.
Okay.
It's a hot area. We got Intel moving in and all that. Every property is gone through the roof. But my question is, and I seen you mention something about romanticizing about properties.
Romanticizing.
That is my hurdle. I don't know if I should sell and move down south because I wanted to buy properties down south. I just thought that would be a better choice, but I don't know. I'm still young, so I don't have any advice or anything like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't get his name, Chris. What's his name?
What's your name, brother?
What was that?
What's your name?
Brian.
Right, okay, Brian. I need to get to the question because Dan,
Where does Brian live?
Where you live, Brian?
I live in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Hit me with the question because Dan, you will not be able to hear Dan and Gerald, so they'll have to reply live on the internet.
Okay. Well, my question is simply that I'm in a hot area right now in Columbus, Ohio. Properties in decent areas, and my question is, should I keep these properties? I heard you guys mention, and oftentimes I find myself like the one gentleman, Gerald said, I put the flooring in, I painted that exterior, I did all that. I'm that guy. So my question is that should I sell these properties? I mean, I heard you guys say don't romanticize, but how do you detach yourself from these properties and just solely, it's just sometimes it's bigger than money.
No emotion. All right, got your question. Thank you, brother.
Yes,
so
I love that one. That was a good one.
His name
Joe,
is Brian,
you stupid,
right?
dog.
So Brian, Brian, there's a couple of things, all right, and I'm going to tell you from a personal experience. I owned 10 multifamily properties in Brooklyn, New York before I started investing in the state of Florida. Now, I didn't go to buy in the state of Florida because the Brooklyn market was a dump. I went to buy in the state of Florida because I couldn't scale fast enough.
Strictly numbers.
Right.
Strictly numbers.
The Brooklyn market has a huge appreciation, but I couldn't scale enough because the acquisition was extremely high. So when I started buying in Florida, I started doing the land flips in Florida to take the profits to come back and buy where I knew my money was extremely safe. Now, if Columbus, Ohio seems to be very busy right now. Everybody I talk to is telling me that the value continues to go up and like crazy. So my big question is, if you are sitting in something that's working, why are you not like beating it to a pulp and sucking every red cent out of it before you go looking for the next shiny object? Right.
All right. We got it.
Because it's south doesn't mean that it's going to work.
It's better
where you currently are. So the only reason I did that was because there was a better opportunity.
Strictly numbers.
Right. I wouldn't start selling until you go do your research and making sure that if you're going to sell, you're going to sell to make more money.
Gerald?
Yeah, I mean, I just echo what Dan said. It needs. I see this a lot, though, man. I don't know if it's YouTuberism. You know, like you have this thing going, man. You're doing this thing and it's working. And all of a sudden you watch a video and you're like, man, I need to get into you know what I mean? And all of a sudden it's just like squirrel. You know, they're just
say it, Gerald. Go cut off. Be saying.
If what you're doing is like for where I was, it was 2-bedroom, one bedroom house, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I could have bought 100 of them. There was no reason to look at anything else. Just keep doing this over and over until it doesn't work.
But Gerald, I'm bored. It's the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. That's what this is. I have this in my trading thing. They go, what are you think? No, it's exactly the same as the last 12.
Wealth is boring.
It is boring. It is. It really is. Now
people
we can get excited finding something.
Listening to you. This shit is real wealthy dudes, they take money in, period. It's nothing else to do.
Right. He's right.
It's boring.
It's boring. It is. That's why I drink so much and go walking and go to because I'm bored.
I'm telling y'all, dude, I'm the same way. All I do is move. Dude, I move money. Dude, I moved $800,000 last week, right? I got to move another 5 this week, right? And I'm looking in the mirror like I'm the guy that gets to do this. It's inanimate numbers on a screen.
Right.
It's nothing exciting about it.
Guys, you need to understand something. Well, it took me years to get to the point where it's just inanimate, right? It's just numbers. But it took
you do a lot of you be tricking people with that on-site shit, dude. You be going to the store, buying stuff.
He's buying one little thing of caulking.
Yeah.
Listen, I am a lot more hands-on than most people, yes.
Oh, shit. Oh.
All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting mad at.
Now, Jess works with me.
Oh, Jess, how are you, Jess?
Jess, what you
What's
doing?
up, guys?
I finally get to meet Jess in face-to-face. Well, at least
Jess.
Screen to screen. Jess,
what's up, Dan? What's up, Chris? What's up, Gerald?
I'm doing all right. What are you doing? How are you doing? Can you hear us?
How are you guys?
Doing good. Can
Jess, tell everybody who you are.
I just had a question.
Yes, what's your question?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Where you at? We don't get many women on here, so we gotta.
Can you hear us, Jess?
Yeah, I can hear. My question is, if you guys were starting today, how would you approach real estate differently than when you started?
Damn, supposed to give us easy ones.
You want to take that, Chris, first?
I would love to say that I have bought real estate for pennies on the dollar, dude. And I just don't know if today's dollar. I'm thinking about all the houses I bought, right? I'm talking 20, 30, 40, 50,000. Them shits is worth, all sides. This is Dan Borrero. He can't even relate. These houses are worth 200,000 or 300,000. Dan's is worth millions. Right?
Millions. He buys shit for pennies in Brooklyn.
Where are your houses? Like Iowa or some shit?
Virginia Beach area.
Oh, I mean, the beach is nice.
Oh, it's crazy. I still got 10x appreciation, right? But Dan got 100x, you know, so he didn't really.
Yeah, because he's in New York and fucking Florida.
Yeah. So I'm saying that to say, like,
Now he's going to Puerto Rico.
Deals?
That's
Can
right.
you get those deals?
Because there's
Yes,
no
you can.
capital gains tax, and the
Yeah.
houses are probably cheaper there.
No, they're not. It's
They're
not
not?
that cheap anymore. No.
You
Damn.
could get those deals, but I would, if I were to redo it over, I would have multiple streams. I wouldn't just focus on solely real estate. I would do internet and real estate. I just
So you don't have stocks right now?
I have
You
a
don't
few, but I'm not.
yeah.
I'm heavy on real estate.
He don't need them. Yeah,
Oh,
he don't need them.
You know, I got to tell you, how would I do differently is I would start fix and flips. So when I started just with long-term holds. But if I had,
It's a long play right there, dog.
yeah, if I had been doing, I didn't do my first fix and flip until like 10 years into my career with real estate.
Wow, that's deep.
So if I had been doing fix and flip sooner, I would have been able to scale so much faster. And the second thing I would have done is I would have gotten a mentor.
a mentor? You didn't have one?
I did not, and
Damn.
it cost me so much money. And if I had, if you know, thinking about this, I would love Gerald and Chris. Imagine if we had the internet, like social media
Oh, wow.
today.
Federal
Yeah,
prison.
or not even
Federal
the internet.
prison.
Like we have the internet and you guys.
Right.
Yeah,
Like Campfire Real Estate's been going on for like 2 years or more at this point.
yeah. I mean, imagine if I was able to learn, if I had a Gerald Peters and a Chris Haskins I was able to watch when I first started.
Now
Oh my
imagine
God.
you're 20 something and they're like, yeah, come on over, bro. And you just get on an airplane, go sit this dude's house with a pen and paper.
That's deep.
And I invite, that's how Jess, me and her got to know each other. But people come over and I talk, but it shocks me how many don't take that offer so they can mow the grass.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's
You know
like
what I mean? Like they give
I
it
do a
up.
free mentorship class every Wednesday night. I get about 80 people on there. I mean,
Yeah.
I should have 300 people there.
You should have. Yeah.
You should have thousands.
Right.
Yeah, I mean
honestly.
it's all for free. Why you really want to learn how to make money for free? Like,
Yeah.
But Dan, you don't drive a Ferrari. I don't
Yeah.
know if I believe you.
Bro, that's
exactly.
it. That's it. That's why I hate having to do the show off thing. But every once in a while, I got to remind them. I'm at my beach house. I'm at my place
That's
in
called
Texas.
flex.
I know, but it's like you shouldn't even. But I get it. I understand. Like I get it. But it's hard for a guy like Dan to do that. He's a humble guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Gerald, what would you
He
do
drives a
differently,
fucking
man?
old van for most of his life. Like this guy's not.
That
If he
white
was in a
van?
Ferrari, it would look weird. to
That
us.
white van?
Yeah. You know what? I feel uncomfortable in a Ferrari. To be
Right.
honest.
And then you get with Welby and it's like, all right, we're like fucking, we're doing a rap video, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I just need something to get from point A to point B. I don't really care. Like I'm not into cars.
I'll give you guys a story. I shared this with Chris a while back. I bought myself a Mercedes. This was about 15 years ago.
Damn.
And it was a 400 series. And I pull up, I was negotiating this deal over the phone, and basically was just about to go there and sign the contracts. The deal was mine, right? And I drive all the way to Jersey. I had just picked up this Mercedes maybe about a year and a half. And I get there, and as soon as I walk, I park the car right outside the house, right almost near the driveway. And as soon as I go in, I could feel there was a tension in the room. And it felt like I was like, what just happened? All I did was walk in here. All I did was say hello. What just happened? I felt it, So after about 5 minutes, I was like, hey, what's going on? I just spoke to you an hour ago. What's happening? What's changed? And he looked at me and he said, I don't want to buy you another one of those. The Mercedes that was sitting outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right. And I didn't even try to defend my situation because it was fruitless. So as I'm driving back home, I called my wife. I said, Rita, what was my average close rate last year? Go on the computer and look at this up. And she looks it up. She says, you were at 73%. I says, what am I looking at this year? She says, you're at about 48%.
Oh shit, the car did it?
I was driving by a Honda dealership. This is no bullshit. I was driving by a Honda dealership. I drove into the dealership, They had a Honda Accord in the showroom. Cloth seats, nothing major. Only had power seats. That was it. I said, "How much is that?" I walked out of there paying $22,000 for the car. I gave them my Mercedes. Actually, I didn't walk out of there paying anything. They gave me a check for $46,000.
Wow.
So I drove out of there with a Honda, gave them my Mercedes, walked out of there with $46,000. 2 weeks later, used $46,000 to go buy a condo in Florida that I still
Damn.
Cash flow.
own. And the following year, my close rate went back up to 73%.
There's a
Gerald, real
lesson
quick,
in there.
what would you do differently so we can get the next person on? What would you do differently? I mean, sorry, starting right now, what would you do?
Honestly, I would do what I'm doing.
2 bedroom, 1 bath, or second income stream?
I would do both. I would do stocks and real, just like you alluded to, Chris, that we live in a different time. And you can only work with what you have, with where you are, with what you can do. And so because Dan did really good with land flips, doesn't mean you're going to if you live in fucking Miami.
Nope.
Or you might kill it. But you're over here listening to this YouTuber telling you to buy this and this, but you're missing the fact that you could be buying this. Or, I make 6 figures just in dividends from companies that pay me collection. And as a hobby, I watch them. And when they're really cheap, I buy them, just like we do with houses. And so there's so much stuff available today that we didn't have when we were 20. What'd you pay to buy a stock when you were at first time you did it, Dan? What did it cost you?
$140 for the trade.
To buy and $140 to sell. Today
Yeah.
it's 0, and there's still people not buying.
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Jess, thanks for coming on. We got another call. Okay.
You guys seen Bitcoin tanking on the 1 hour?
One second, caller.
That's what's up. MFG, baby.
Tanking on the 1 hour right now.
Thanks, Jess.
95. Thank you
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Good to see you guys.
Nice to see you, Jess.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I don't know what's wrong with my technology.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Tyler from Baltimore. How's it going?
What up, Tyler? Tyler,
Hey,
you got to. Unfortunately, my technology is messing up. So you can ask a question, but unless you come on live, they can't answer. So you ask a question, then they're going to answer it live.
Yep, I got you. I'm having issues myself on the YouTube link. I can do the Instagram one, I think, because I was looking at it there, but I'm not sure if that one would work as well. But I'm all right just asking a question.
Hit it.
So I'm working. You guys had helped me out with some questions with contractors last week or the week before. I was just asking, about it all, and y'all made the wise statement of, hey, nothing lasts forever, and you just keep churning through them. So I appreciate that.
Cool.
Working on them still myself, churning through the phone book. But anyway, right now I'm working with still the same property, a duplex out in Baltimore, and I'm asking. My main question here is about latent defects. So I bought the house at an auction, a private auction, not a foreclosure. I did walk through the property before purchasing, but now we're noticing. So it had all new gas appliances, furnace in the basement, and gas water heater, gas range, stove oven in both kitchens. And we come in, we call the local electric company and gas company to turn it all on, and they said, "We got your electric, but there's no gas coming into this building from the street." And I went, "Wait, what? We got all new gas appliances and system and HVAC all up in this house. Like the people who sold it to us through the auction put it all in here." And they went, "Yeah, well, that's cool, but we can't. You got to reconnect the gas out to the main line, and you got to get a plumber to pull a permit and do all that stuff." So is that, I guess, considered a latent defect? I would think it is. And then if so, what kind of experience would you use to advise me for a possible lawsuit here for that? Because that's definitely upwards of 10, 15,000 to kind of rectify all this, or switch the whole house to electric and avoid gas and all that. It's just a giant obstacle I didn't foresee. So what are your thoughts on all this and
Thanks,
how
Tyler.
I should handle it?
They'll answer it live. Thanks, buddy.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
Damn, I paid 10 grand not to go to court.
Everybody loses in court, dog. But
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
10 grand ain't enough to get me there, man. It's just you ate it, bro. Eat it. Move on. Like, in my opinion, I just ate one like that. I bought a house. They said the roof's fine. Bullshit. The roof was leaking in 3 spots. Everyone I could have won this. I am not fixing to spend the next 2 months of my life losing money, going to a fucking court thing, paying a lawyer, talking to people when I could be on Instagram saving lives. Like,
Wow.
I ain't got time for that, man. Not for 10 grand.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm sure there's some type of verbiage in that contract that's going to basically indemnify them, especially the auction house.
Not only that, Dan, the lawyer's you're gonna pay the lawyer to go read the whole contract, send you a bill for a couple $1,000 just to even.
And then you're gonna sue, and even if you win, now you got to go collect. Yeah, it's for 10,000-15,000. It's a learning lesson.
Man, I'm gonna spend that on my birthday on the 14th. What's up, man? Who cares about your 15 grand? Let's go. Get some money.
You got to move on, man.
I've spent that on porches.
You know,
listen, when y'all heard him say 10 to 15,000, my stomach was like, man, that's a good day. Is that what y'all were thinking?
Right.
That's
one day, bro. Let's go.
That's a good no.
The reality is this: when you're buying property in the auction, when you're buying property in the auction, you got those are the numbers.
Anything goes.
So when I look at a property, like especially I'm buying in the auction, if I estimate it's going to cost me 100 grand for renovations, I'm going to add another 20,000 for what I don't see.
20.
20,000 just for what I don't see. And then I'm going to add another 15,000 for what I call the might as wells. I'm doing this now. I might as well do that.
While we're at it, while we're spending so much.
So if it doesn't happen, that's just more profit. And if it happens, it's figured into my numbers. So if the numbers don't make sense with those additional costs, the might as wells or what I don't see, I'm not buying.
Listen, we got 75 people on YouTube. We got 10 on Instagram. Y'all hit the like button, but make sure you sign up for our waiting list. Dan and I are doing the Ultimate Landlord's Guide, helping you run your real estate rental business so tenants don't destroy you. There's a link in the video description so you can join a wait list. But I want to ask y'all, when I'm talking about Tyler and that repair, 10 to 15,000, and I'm nowhere close to the level of Dan and Gerald. 10 to 15,000. I just want to make sure we give him an honest spirit of what that is. In my book, a $10 to $15,000 is like a good day, right? So I just want to know what you guys are thinking.
When you talking about that, talking about taking a hit or making
$10,000 to $15,000 hit. I'm like, I didn't take
go either way, right? Yeah.
I'm just talking about from his perspective, of getting this thing.
The reality is this: I would probably, if this wasn't an auction, I would reach out to the realtor and say, "Hey, I'm going to sue everybody. I'm going to sue you,
right,
who represented me.
I'm going
to sue the other realtor who represented the seller. I'm going to sue the seller. This is going to cost me $15,000.
I've seen people win with that.
So but it's going to cost everybody to go to court. See what you guys want to come up with.
And there's people like me.
Sometimes they may say, "Look, we'll pay 7. We'll give you 5."
That's a good point.
They might split it with you, so they don't have to go to court. Like
exactly.
That's a damn good. Dan, do you think he should go ahead and pay the $500 to have the attorney write this up? Maybe.
Attorneys.
I wouldn't pay anything. I would call up everybody first and say, "I'm going to sue everybody in the mother. You pay me or you pay. You're going to pay somebody. Decide who you pay."
We can get into some gangster. Oh, sorry. Just tell them I'm pouring some Jameson shots. I'm about to make some phone calls.
Yeah. Again, but that's my personality. And everybody, you do business with me or you look me up, you're going to know I go balls to the wall when I do something.
We know that.
It's not something I want to do.
Right.
Let's see if we can negotiate something.
I don't want to sue you, bro, but I'm about to.
Yeah.
That would be a good tweet. I don't want to sue you, bro.
But I don't know if you're going to be able to get away with that with the auction because.
Hey, no, man.
No.
The auction companies, them fools never lose. They get you coming and going.
And their quality, you sign shit probably. They got all kind of coverage.
Yo, those dudes.
Yeah.
Yo, those auctions.
I thought about getting into that.
That's why I was saying those are the best. Dude, they get the seller and the buyer.
You're the bookie. Like you're making money. You don't care if they're betting to win or lose. You don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're the brokerage. You don't think it's a beautiful business.
Yo, those auction houses, Dude, you walk in there, they got a stack of paper. I'm like, damn, are you the broker or are you the seller?
No, he's like, I'm getting paid. Everybody else about to buy some shit.
Everybody else about to
Yeah.
spend their money. I get paid no matter what.
The
Everybody else
last-
spend their money, spend their life fixing that property, but I still get paid and I do shit.
The last 3
All I
years,
do is sit there. Oh, you won. You won.
you won. The good thing is, at the end of the day, if you do mess up real estate, as long as you've got a decent piece of property, over time, you're going to forget. I have some deals where we look back and go, man, remember how I start laughing about it now, but it was a real problem 8 years ago, you know? And then now it's appreciated. I paid the loan down. I've had tenant. I'm up 150,000, but there was a moment where it was kind of the other way.
Over time, y'all, real estate will save your ass.
It will.
Over time, though.
Real estate is forgiving if you have the wherewithal to stay the distance.
That's right. Hey, look, y'all, hit that like button. There's a link to come on live because my technology's done. I don't know what happened. I can't even hear people on the phone. I guess I'll put the phone. We'll get one more call. We'll get you guys out of here. It's 8:30. Dan, we got your favorite theme next Sunday, dude. You've been talking about this all year. Your team. Your favorite team.
Oh, that's right. The Super Bowl's on next Sunday, right?
Bro, you got the money. Why don't you just buy me and you a ticket? You stay at my house. I'm in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Get Chris 1, 2. We'll all 3 go. We'll shoot content. What's 10 grand? What's 10 grand?
Last year, Chris and I, we went live, and somebody was asking us, why we ain't watching the game. So my argument was, there's nothing. I feel sorry for a fool that's broke and he's watching a football game.
Yeah, that's
I feel sorry for people that are broke and they get upset when their team loses. And I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. Or like they're showing people on Instagram breaking their TV because there was a bad play or something. And my thing is, do you think that player gives a shit?
Right.
You're upset. He got paid whether he won or lost. Right? He got all these women chasing him. He got all these endorsements chasing him. He got all this money chasing him. You think he gives a shit if you're upset? He don't even know who you are.
My team won.
Who cares?
Caller, you're on the line with Chris, Dan, and Gerald. State your name, where you calling from.
My name is Asa. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia, but I am calling from the DMV area.
Portsmouth and DMV.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And my question, just wanted to know what your opinions were about novation agreements. I was looking at a lot of your content earlier, but about fixing and flipping and certain things like that. So I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on novations and just certain things like that.
Cool. All right. Thank you, brother. What's your name again? Asa. We'll have Dan and Asa. Thanks. We'll reply online. Thank you.
So we're gonna answer that, but one of the people on Instagram is asking me to ask Gerald a question about stocks. So let's answer his question first.
Stocks.
What was his question, Chris?
He wanted to know what y'all think about novations. I hate that word. I'm like,
I don't even know. Is that a new acronym?
Basically, all they're doing is getting the house under contract and selling it to an end buyer that's going to get a loan. It's the same shit, man.
So it's a wholesale deal.
Wholesale deal. What?
Isn't that called wholesaling? Like you
get you get the property in the contract, right? Let's say for $200,000. The thinking is the homeowner doesn't want to do any repairs to the property for the end buyer's home inspector. Right, so this wholesaler listed on the MLS for $220 or $230, right? Then now the investor is responsible for all the repairs. So whatever you'd say, there's $5,000, so they put 5 in to make 20. In essence, the wholesaler is selling it to the end buyer. So I've done one of these. It was just, but I don't practice to do it. So. What I find, go ahead.
I won't do it because I'm talking too much. I'm talking.
There's a lot of talking. Yeah. Once you get,
I'm talking to the seller, trying to, and then educating the seller. Now I'm talking to the contractor, managing the deal, and then hope the seller, after I fix the property, doesn't fall back in love with the property.
Right? Yeah.
And then
That's what happens.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yes.
now they're gonna try to pull out, and I gotta become the hard ass.
Yeah.
And
That's what
then,
happens.
and then I gotta now educate the buyer.
You do.
Yeah, I'd rather spend
And
that
the
time-
realtor too. And don't forget the realtors don't know what the
Right.
hell going on.
I'd rather spend all that time and all that money doing what I do best.
Well, a lot of dudes at this novations, I've seen dudes really get burned. Because once you put, you're not on title. So let's say your repairs is $5,000. It's not a lot of repairs. Let's say $5,000. You better hope the seller shows up. Because if they don't show up, then you got a problem.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't do it.
Gerald.
I don't know. The whole concept is just weird to me because if I find a deal, I want it, bro. Like why am I giving this deal to somebody
It
else?
might not be enough room in it.
And that could be like it's just not my kind of
It's
deal.
not enough room.
Yeah. And I that's probably an area where I lost money along the way in my life is I didn't have the contacts like we didn't have the internet. So I wasn't thinking all these other strategies. So I would find a deal and go, oh, this would be a good flipper, but I don't flip and move on.
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking like, oh, I should take this deal, give it to my homeboy over here who does flip because I'm already out here looking anyway. It just doesn't fit my parameters, right?
That's true.
But again, back to what Dan said about mentorship. If I'd have ran into OGP and he'd have schooled me on all of this, I probably would have made a lot more money along the way. But it just for me, I'm old and in my ways. I'm looking for deals for me, not other people. And it doesn't even occur to me to do that.
Different mindset.
It's a different mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
And look, I this is funny. So back in 2019, where I met Chris was at the Vault Conference, and Patrick David was talking about leveraging relationships, right? And
Right.
I remember listening to him. I was saying like, well, damn, how did I forget to do that? And it just so happened deal on the table that the week before that I kind of like, yeah, I can't help you. And I realized like, wait a minute. So I ended up leveraging that relationship and I ended up doing it twice. And I made about $75,000 in 90 days.
Wow.
Right? Because Patrick David reminded me how to leverage a relationship.
What'd you pay to get in that room to be reminded?
That about $12,000.
And then you met Crystal.
That's what Chris and I met.
And you made $75,000.
Yeah. And Chris and I made a lot more money.
Sign me up,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. So the thing is, like you said, like there were times when you had a deal, but it didn't fit your inbox. So you moved on to the next one. You knew somebody else that literally would have taken it because you didn't recognize that you should have been leveraging that relationship.
Yeah, time. Right? Now I just got enough money. I'm just a little bit lazy on some of that shit. It's like I don't even want to call them. Like you said, I don't even want to go back and forth. So I'm out.
You know what I do? I'll make the phone call. Say, listen, I'm going to make the introduction. Just make sure you send me my check.
When I was hungry, shit, I'll paint the
Caller.
house, lay the floor.
Give us your question, my brother. Who we talking to?
It's Mike from Philly.
Mike from Philly.
I wanted to just compliment you guys again. I don't really have a question, but I listened to a couple of the callers last, and I just wanted to say, I don't know if you remember with the Mike from Philly with the commercial properties.
Yeah, I remember you, brother. You doing it.
So what I wanted to say is it's always good, and I know you got another call. I know you got another guest on board, and it's good to hear you. It's like all the knowledge from all the dinosaurs. We're all dinosaurs, and it's just like
Jurassic Park.
And it's crazy because I'm listening to like with the wholesale deal. Like, think about that. Why would you? It's a wholesale deal when you're putting yourself in a liable position, right? Why would you do that? In a wholesale deal, you don't want the liability, but you're putting yourself in a liable position.
Oh, with the novations.
Yeah.
It's silly. And then the other guy is talking about suing. It's like you came in assuming that all these gas appliances was working and all the gas.
Right.
Now you get mad because you were at an auction. It's like, come on, buddy. Now you want to sue somebody for $15,000?
That's a daggone good point. That's a good point.
You came in and you thought it was a sweet deal because they hooked up all the appliances, and now when you get beat, now all of a sudden you want to cry. It's like I'm trying to understand these new investors. It's like, listen, do your due diligence.
With
Think
love.
about
With
it. Your
love.
money
With love, right? Don't take that
important.
wrong.
Your money is important. Think about the stuff that you do before you enter into something.
Hold up. I
It's
gotta
really
think. I gotta think before I buy the property.
Yeah, man. There's a big
Or you'll be
exception
out
with all things
five,
in life.
5 digits, you'll be out 10, 15, 20 grand. And that's the best way to learn. When you lose 15
Come
grand,
on, man.
best way to learn.
Come on.
Never gonna happen.
Compliment all
Let me
three
tell you,
guys.
that'll never happen
you too.
ever again. It'll never happen again.
Appreciate it.
Good talking to you. All right, bro.
So
Mike's
this-
an OG.
yeah,
You
this
mean
question
you
here,
hooked up-
Gerald,
He
I don't
dropped
know,
the
you-
class, didn't he? He dropped the
Huh?
class.
Yeah, that was
Lower
That
your
was a
fucking
class.
expectations. Assume you're going to be lied to. Right?
So, Gerald, there's a question. Actually,
Okay.
2 people have asked me the same question. Ask Gerald, what is he buying tomorrow? Basically,
Man.
what they're
Oh.
asking me is, what are you looking at tomorrow?
Right, man. That's what we just finished. Just came out. My shit will be posted tonight at thepetersreport.com. My homework will be in the back. That's my newsletter. You see
Gerald,
all
give
the
him,
charts of it.
give him one golden nugget.
One that I'm looking at right now. Hold on. Let me grab my little book here, man. One that I'm actually going to put some money to work.
Yo, Chris, you see this book that he's got in his hand? This man don't leave it. Don't everywhere he goes with this book.
My wife be like, we got to take that to dinner on our anniversary. I might have an idea. I'm going to let an anniversary get in the middle of $1 million idea.
You better have a book, yo. Every millionaire I know has a book.
Dude, first thing I ask people when I come out, where's your book, man?
Where's your book?
Yeah, we'll go to
Gerald.
the bar in New Orleans. We're out walking about, and I got this under my hand. They think I'm a cop or something. I'm taking note.
Every
No, I'm just richer than you. I'll tell them that. The reason I have this book is I'm loaded. You have no ideas. You don't need a book. And then they think about that for a second.
Gerald, every millionaire I know has a book.
And it's
Ron
embarrassing. Like, I mean, I
you know
get
what's
that.
messed up? I don't know about you guys, but what about your things to do list? This is mine right here.
It never stops.
Come on.
Never
I'm
stops.
trying to get to the no-do list, but I have to go through my flow of things. I get it. I tried to opt out of time. That's a different conversation. But I'm gonna give you a couple. NVIDIA's got to be, man, you got to take the other side of this. The Chinese did just not invent a $6 million program that wiped out a $20 trillion company. That did not just happen. I have a rule in life. No matter who's talking, I don't believe him. I don't believe you.
What about Dan Borrero?
Well, until you've proven yourself over time. So if I hear a report,
Am I proving myself over time?
yeah, exactly. But when I first met, matter of fact, Mark will tell you, I got a call from our mutual Rick Jarman. Goes, what do you think of this guy, Mark? You know, and I'm like, man, fuck Mark. I don't know Mark. Like, I don't know anything about Mark. That's my first response, whether it's a lawyer, a banker, or a realtor.
Oh, Gerald, we've got phones now. Why aren't you using the phone?
We have phones now, guys. What is he talking about?
You think you're so good. You got your little book. We got phones now.
But he ain't looking at his phone on no notes he wrote. Bro, this in here, there's stocks in here that have gone up 600%. I bet he ain't got shit on his phone that went up 600%. Bro, you better get a pencil and piece of paper. This is already scientifically proven. They're trying to this is the problem when I try to train people.
Let me educate this young guy here, Macho. There's something about the connection between your hand and a piece of paper and your brain that the phone, I promise you, hitting on a button, it just doesn't work. Now, what works for you, do it. We're not saying it's bad, but all I'm saying is
it might be bullshit. It's also a generational thing because my kids look at me like I'm nuts. Right? But that's what works for me. Gerald's in his 50s. Gerald, how old are you?
I got 3 phones, young man. I'm so rich, I need more than one phone. Which phone should I put the notes on?
I can't even count.
I got 3 iPads right here.
It would take you too long to find the damn app to find the notes that you wrote.
Which phone would Macho like me to use, sir? Because I'm rich and I have business going on. So, or I could put it all in this one book that's always with me.
So,
and the page doesn't go anywhere.
No,
it doesn't get hacked. I don't lose it.
No one's stealing your idea.
I'm leaving him alone.
Okay, let's get back to the thing. You're saying NVIDIA, and you know it's funny. One of my things with that new Chinese company that's going against NVIDIA is I wouldn't use it because I don't know what the F the Chinese are using that whatever data I'm putting in.
Trump's going to write a thing and ban.
Yeah.
He hates the Chinese. They're about to take out TikTok. Now we're adopting Chinese AI. Come on.
Wow.
Come on. Congress just got rid of TikTok. Trump saved them. Now we're embracing TikTok AI. Come on. Or Chinese AI. You got to use anything that comes out in the news. Your first thought should be bullshit. And then decide if it's true. Because remember the Patriot Act? Was there anything patriotic about it? Like everything is the opposite. If you haven't noticed, like my first thought, I don't believe anybody, man. I don't believe anybody.
Do you think they might have tried to take somebody out with that plane crash up there, man?
Yeah. I live in New Orleans. I have a house in New Orleans, in the French Quarter. We just had a terrorist attack there. That was 3 blocks from my house, man.
Terrorist attack? I didn't even hear that.
In French Quarter? You didn't hear about the
hold on, Gerald. We'll get
the guy in the truck.
Yes, that's 3 blocks from my house. I take my students there.
Gerald, we got a lot of questions right now.
You're on the line. Oh, go ahead, Dan. Somebody live here.
Yeah, but they got to turn off their mic or something.
Turn your mic down, caller.
Man, I gotta grab some Jameson.
All right, so Gerald.
I still gotta hear you.
I'm listening.
So the question is,
hold on. Oh, Dan.
Well,
you want to do yours or do this guy here?
Let's talk to him first.
Javon, quick. What's your question, brother?
All right, man.
Where you at, by the way?
Go ahead.
Where are you?
I'm on the highway. My eyes are on the road, though. I'm on the wheel.
Where are you in California, Texas?
Oh, my bad. I'm on my way to Jersey from Maryland. I'm about in.
He don't even know where he's
Delaware
at.
now.
I don't think he knows.
He's on the roads. All right, Javon, ask the question.
That's your question. I'm sorry.
I got 2 questions for Gerald. Go ahead. What's your question, Javon?
So, quick question, right? I'm 28 years old right now. I have some money saved up. Currently doing my 9 to 5. Round number, if I was to scrape out, all my accounts, I would come up with like around 30 grand. I'm looking to get into something. Not sure what I'm, looking to get into yet or which area. So that's kind of my question. Like with the money that I have saved up, like I know how to, run the deals, like, at a high level. What area should I be looking into? Obviously I'm from Jersey. It's a little bit harder to get into properties there. It's just a higher margin to get in. What would be your suggestion?
Can I go first?
Hit it, Dan.
You need to join my free mentorship class and educate yourself before you spend money.
All right, sounds like a plan.
That's what I was going to say.
DanielBurrow.com. Every Wednesday night, it's free to attend, free to join, free to learn, free to network. That's the first thing. I would create a better relationship with money. You live at home, Jeff. What's do you have any kids, expenses? Talk to me.
Oh man, I have my girlfriend is actually eight weeks pregnant right now, so yeah, no kids yet. One's on the way. So
okay. So,
congratulations, brother.
You don't have any mouth to feed but your own. So my question to you is, why do you only have $30,000? Don't answer me here. I don't want
28, Dan.
Yeah, he had 28 years to come up with how much?
Well, let me give you a little bit more, insight. I do own one property already. It's
okay. Okay, now we're talking.
Go ahead.
Now we're talking. I love it. So you own one property, and you still have 30,000. Okay. Now I'm okay. Now that shows me you have a relationship with money.
Yeah. Maybe
that's a good thing.
So now what, Dan? You talk and go.
So my thing is, if you're looking to scale, you need to start putting yourself in the room with other people that have already done it. You need to start going to networking events, or you also need to, one of the things I would do is decide where you want to buy next. And I'm going to give you a real golden gem here. Put yourself on the mailing list to every politician in that area. The mayor, councilman, state assemblyman, the congressman or congresswoman, the senator, and I'll tell you why. Because every time something big is about to happen in that area, if you're on the email list for that particular politician, they're going to send you an email telling you what's going on, and you'll know that before the general public, because even though it's going to be in the newspaper, most people don't read the newspaper. So information is golden, and that'll allow you to position yourself before the regentification or whatever that's coming in, whether it's Intel or Amazon, whatever that's happening, you'll know before the general public, all because you put yourself on the email list of all these politicians. Now, a lot of these politicians had nothing to do with what's coming in, but they want to brag as if they do because they want the votes. So it's irrelevant if you agree with that politician's politics or not. You put yourself on that politician's email list for information purposes only.
Gerald?
Okay.
Man, I got lost in thought there. The I don't even remember the beginning of the thing. I got really bored with
48
this.
years old. We got 30 grand. Got one rental property. Wants to know what's his next move.
Right. You got to get 10 of them, bro. What the fuck? Like, what are we waiting on?
So the one I have right now, that's my primary residence. I do have some equity in there, so I do have.
All right, so you live in it. That's cool.
Yeah.
What can you give him, Gerald? Give him some tough love,
Right.
brother.
You got to get on it, bro. Start buying some shit. You either got to buy something or buy stocks, man. You can't do nothing. How many days a week you working?
5 days.
What do you do on the other 2?
Just chill at home. Stay out of trouble.
Well, you know what I do? Work, and I'm rich. No bullshit, bro. You shouldn't be taking any fucking days off, for real.
Javon, why you do? You know what?
Day off.
I hate the N word, yo. I cannot stand my kids in my house. If you say nothing to me, that burns.
Bro,
me.
if you took a day off, you don't want what I want.
All right.
No bullshit. You don't know.
On your days off, you should be educating yourself, reading,
or working, taking your ass to Uber. Go get some money, bro.
Well, on my days off, on like a Saturday or Sunday, I'm usually, just either upskilling, trying to learn something else. But
you ain't
I'm
doing
not
shit.
actually
You need to go get some money and buy some properties. You can sell that bullshit to your mother. You're not selling that shit to me. I work every day as a grown man, making money. You need to make money and go buy some shit. On Saturdays, I mowed yards. That's how I got money to buy houses. I mowed yards. I wasn't at home.
Wow.
Yeah, on the real. I went out and worked. I still do this to this day, and I'm 54. So take a day off, bro.
Yeah, I'm 60. I'm going to be 62 in April, and I work 6 days a week.
That pisses me off, man.
What would you say, Chris? Chris don't know what.
I'm getting pissed. There's kids on here taking days off, and they want to be me.
Gerald, help me.
Be me.
Gerald, let me ask you something.
And go relax.
Help me. I have a problem. I want to know is what does having a day? When people say,
I don't even know what it is.
What does being off mean, dog? I don't even know.
I'm a king. Kings run kingdoms, and there's no day where the king has a fucking vacation. He's working. Running the kingdom.
People tell me they're off. I'm like,
he's at recess. Are you on recess, bro?
So
I don't care about the days off. That's why I'm trying to get in. I'm just trying to find something to occupy my time on the weekend. So if I get another property.
So the first thing you need to do, seriously speaking, on your days off, is not besides educate yourself. Figure out how to put yourself in the rooms. That people that are already where you want to be.
Get this book, dog.
And let me tell you something else. Read this book. I want to tell you something. Chris and I, we made a commitment to each other to go at least together to one networking event, one learning a conference once a year.
And we don't even need to go
to a conference where people are there that are richer than we are. And it's intimidating when we walk into that room. Even till today, even though we're wealthy, Chris and I have this discussion. We walk in there, we're intimidated. It's very uncomfortable because we know we don't have as much as the other big boys in there.
Right.
But what I do know, when I leave there, I've had conversations with them that I come and I implement into my business now, right? And that allows me to get to the next step. And I developed a relationship. Chris and I, that's how we met. We spent. Chris told me I bought his friendship. Tell him how.
You can't be my friend unless you pay money. Period.
Chris, tell them how you told me one time you bought my
Tell them what's up, Chris.
Tell them.
I'm in the business of buying relationships now, Javon. So wherever Dan's going and Gerald, where they're hanging out, I'm just putting myself in that room. It's gonna cost me $2,000.
Exactly.
But when you look back, I don't even miss. It's like you gonna spend that money, dude. You don't even think about it once you spend it, dog. All right, Javon, we'll let you go, man. Good, thank you for coming on, brother.
For sure, Dan, I'll be in that class on Wednesday for sure. I'll be the first one through the door. So
You better
I always ask who the new people are to introduce themselves. So please introduce yourself in the beginning. All right.
Will do.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Javon.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Take care. So,
Damn,
Gerald, I got to get to these questions because it's getting late. One, we got off track. Let's not get off track this time.
Gerald, you should do like a what's my man George Carlin? Wait a minute, Dad. This is my fucking.
Dan took over your YouTube, bro. Come on, man.
What up? You might be richer than me, man, but who put this together, huh? Who put this together, huh? Me. Now look, Gerald, you should do a George Carlin like
a side by side.
You should do like a George Carlin like a
man. Talking
like
about his little boxes for more boxes.
I mean, you should do like a parody. Like you almost have like a George Carlin.
He does, yeah. You know what?
His fantasy is to be a stand-up comic. And there's a comic in my group. He's professional. He's like been on Netflix and shit. He keeps saying he's willing to come down and help me for my first 2-minute on stage, and we'll film it and shit. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I might flip out. It won't work. Start yelling at him. Why aren't you laughing?
We asked Gerald the question.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, same question.
Head's freaking
Hit
out.
that like button.
So one guy says, I'm afraid, I'm scared to ask a question because Gerald may get mad.
I would be too.
I might get mad. You're right.
Hold up. Dean says you're being nice tonight.
I am nice, bro. Dude, there's a reason my group is small because shit that you say to your mother doesn't work on me. And I gives a fuck if you're a grown man. You better stand up, bro.
Chris, Instagram's asking what's the name of that book you posted?
Y'all better get this book. In fact, I'll put a link in the video description.
like
Who,
books.
not how. Javon, there comes a point in your life where you cannot learn how to do everything. Everybody's asking for how.
You know how you
I can
learn?
pick the phone up and ask Gerald. Gerald, tell me XYZ. Boom. This shit's over. This shit's over.
Someone's asking what's the phone number. Can you put up the phone number again?
We can't take any more calls. It's 9 o'clock. We gotta get out.
Right. All right.
Sorry,
so
y'all.
Gerald, last 2 questions. One, let's not get off track. Let's stay focused. What's tomorrow's golden nugget to buy? That's the question.
Boar. This is a speculation play. It's only $3. It's going to $7.
It's
a driller. They only own 28 drillers offshore. It is now called the Gulf of America.
What's the symbol on it?
Drilling doesn't change, baby. Drill. BORR.
Okay.
Now this that's a speculative play. That's if you want a 2-3x or go to 0.
You also said NVIDIA. Why NVIDIA?
NVIDIA is the big play. That's a no-brainer.
Is that a put or a call? What on NVIDIA?
No,
is that
options for gamblers? I don't do that. I like to make money, not lose it.
I'm saying NVIDIA is up or down?
NVIDIA is going to be up.
Oh,
but
okay.
tomorrow it could be down. Any weakness, I'm buying that, XRP, and Boar. Those are my 3.
Got it. Boar.
XRP, if it gets down if it goes below $2, we all just saw it can fly, right? The thesis has not changed.
It's 211 now, Gerald.
Right. If it goes under $1, man, shit, I'm going to be borrowing money to buy. Seriously, when I say that, I mean, I'm dead serious on that. I'll borrow money to buy a stock. Here's the thing. I'll borrow money to buy a stock, just like we borrow money to buy a house.
Gerald, next question. They're asking, why is crypto going down today?
Because crypto, honestly, guys, is not what everyone thinks. It's just a stock. Bitcoin is the NASDAQ times 2. All Bitcoin is technology in its purest form. So whatever NASDAQ does, whatever technology does, that's where Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin has not detached itself from the stock market yet. Like
the blockchain.
Yeah, it's still directly connected, tied. If the market goes down, crypto will go down. Now, you might have a coin here and there. They're going to do what they do, just like you'll have a stock here and there. But there is this idea that there's all these things that I want Bitcoin to be. It is not there yet. I want it to be digital gold. I want it to be like buying land because there's only 21 million of them. But right now, it's still a thing that people buy and sell based on fear and greed. Fear and greed, Think about it. We can't sell a house tonight because we get freaked out. But stocks, click the button.
Done.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, it's fear and greed. That's all that moves markets.
Fear and greed. All right, guys, I'm done.
Gerald,
Four is a one. Look at
I got
it,
it
Dan.
right here.
Grab you 1,000 shares, Dan, and if you double it, come on, man, you got to buy me dinner.
You got it, bro. Matter of fact,
you're coming to New Orleans in a couple weeks.
I intend to buy you dinner and some drinks because I want everyone here to know I am not a stock person. I am not a crypto person.
He'd be trading.
My stock type of buying is every 15th of the month I buy a certain amount of S&P 500. I've been doing that for years, right? Now with Gerald's guidance, I've been actually buying individual stocks, and listen,
he's been killing it too.
And Gerald's not, I would say 8 out of 10 picks that Gerald gives me skyrocket. Now the other two, they may lag, but I'm not losing money on them. Right. So I want you guys to know, Gerald, tell them about the report you have out because that's so in detail.
What's the website, Gerald?
Yeah.
I mean, the main place to go, honestly, that's my main site, geraldpeters.info. That has everything. But the report I put out is called thepetersreport.com.
And tell them how long you put it out. Because
it updates in real time. We send emails. It's connected to Substack. There's a lot of just like Dan puts out. There's a lot of value there just for free, as I'm sure Chris does too. And you ever notice that almost like it's like 98% is free. You're paying for the 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're paying for the little edge at the back. That's what it is, and that's just what I do all day. Like you guys watch. I'm a generalist. That's what I call myself. I can do anything from blackjack to flipping land to working on houses. But I'm not an expert in any one of those things, Tell
everybody what you did in 2024, what your returns were.
Yeah, it was well over 80-something%. Right up until the very last week, it was 106. And then I got a trade up until the last minute, and I did some dumb things, but that's trading, my returns on that. That was cash on cash money. But that's man, cool. My second income stream strategy we're showing right now where we're borrowing money to buy funds that pay like really big dividends, and we're balancing it just like a house. You don't want to be too leveraged. You want enough equity in the deal.
And I want everyone to know Gerald's put me onto those yield accounts, and I can't get over how much they're paying.
That girl that came on earlier, Jessica, she was saving for real estate. I teach all my people that. You got to save money. You got to get in real estate. The whole thing we all did. But she's in Miami, man. And at a certain point, I'm like, bro, this ain't working there. And I'd been working on this new strategy, and I moved her in it. Now, this blows my mind. How many houses did we have before we were making $2,900 a month passive? Come on.
Yeah.
She did it in like 3 months. So that is not available when I'm young.
It ain't happening in real estate.
It ain't happening. And so, but at the same time, it's not real estate in that we know that, you make money in 4 ways in real estate. Stocks, you kind of typically tend to make money 2 ways, but it just, my point is, there's my man, Tim. He's in the comments saying his sis is producing 22% minimum. These things weren't available when we were younger. And now I'm lucky in that I took money from real estate and put it into this shit,
Imagine having friends that make you money. That's the life that we live, y'all.
It is. It honestly is. And if I'm watching the Super Bowl, I'm watching what company bought commercials.
So you know what? It's funny. Like I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl this year, but I'm not watching.
You're gonna be on the phone with me. You're not doing anything next week.
He's gonna be on the
yes, I am. But the point is, I'm watching Super Bowl because of the social aspect of it.
I'm out looking for movies.
I'm gonna have a beer with somebody, or I'm gonna be, I'm
gonna be in New Orleans,
and I'm gonna and I want to watch the commercials.
Right.
But to be honest with you, do I give a shit who wins?
No.
I don't even know who's playing. I don't want to know.
I actually don't know either. That's so terrible. I
wanna
used
know.
to be
Why is it terrible? Now,
I don't want to know.
anybody on this live ask Gerald Peters about a stock, he'll know. If you ask me about
Yeah,
how
I
to make
can
money,
tell you all that. Yeah.
if you ask Mr. Haskins how to make money with real estate, he'll
Right.
know. Right. But we ain't gonna know who the quarterbacks are, who's playing, what the odds are, because we
I don't even know. I don't even know.
There are yachts. My friend sent me pictures because I'm headed to my house in New Orleans. Super Bowl's coming up. So I'm curious about who the celebrities it might be.
I understand. Is that where the Super Bowl is going to be?
Yeah. So I'm going to be walking around looking for celebrities, right?
They're going to be there.
If I can get them on YouTube. And
that's cool.
Yeah. He's sending me pictures of yachts tied up by the edge. There's one there. It's $350 million. He looked it up. Okay. Who buys a $350 million? It's got to be an oligarch from Russia, right?
Wow.
He rolled to New Orleans in that yacht.
I want to point something out. You buy a yacht for $350 million.
Right. And come to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
Hold on.
In it.
That yacht didn't just cost that person $350 million.
And he don't care about the Super Bowl.
Right. So that yacht cost him if he put that into the yacht, he just lost the opportunity to make more money with that $350
Which means he has a lot, right?
Right. So that means that $350 million 5 years from now would be $600 million. So that yacht didn't cost him $350, it cost him $600, plus the maintenance, plus the depreciation. So that yacht cost him $100 million in over.
Which
5
probably
years.
means he's a multi-billionaire and he's old and don't care.
Right.
Don't care.
It's probably, because to be a point where that exchange no longer cares. It doesn't matter, right? Now for Dan, it may not. He'll be on his deathbed going, man, can I get those a little cheaper? I'm just saying, can I get the cost of it a little cheaper?
Are those generic pills or they're the real pills? I need to know. Look, I think we didn't talk about. I want to ask y'all before we go. People, as I'm getting older, everybody's looking for where to put their money, and I am noticing works for me, right? I have to start putting more of my money in my brain, right? So I want to ask you guys, when I was talking to Javon, I got 10,000, I got 30,000. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but when I look at as I'm aging, right, I'm like, dude, I have to buy relationships. I need to be in these rooms. I need to go to training. I need to be doing this stuff. So I want to know you guys' opinion on it. 30 seconds.
You want to go first, Gerald?
Yeah, I'll go. I would say that makes a lot more sense as you have more and more money. Because you can actually do something with the advice. Like if David Patrick told me to do something when I was broke mowing yards, I don't know that I could have executed on it. So there is a little bit of that. Is sometimes when you listen to the old rich guy give advice, and I should have spent more time at the baseball games with my kid. Yeah, I don't know. There's some of that as we get older, But at the end of the day, you just got to have you can't have all these days where you're spending money and not making money. You got to figure out how to make money every day.
Increase your ability to earn.
Right. And then I'm with you. Health, wealth, and mindset. I put money in wealthy things. I put money into my mind, and I put money into my body, like dental care, health insurance, buying nice clothes, having a nice dinner. These things are valuable, but so is your mind, and that can't be starting over with new things all the time.
Shiny stuff.
That's what happens. You go to this guy and this guy. So be careful the YouTubers you're listening to, man.
Man, these dudes, you know what? We're gonna go to Dan. It's a lot of fraudsters out there, dog. Y'all.
Hard, dude. That's the hard part. And I'm a YouTuber, and I'll be like, fuck YouTubers. I'm one of them. Like, I know. Breaks my heart.
If I had to say, guys, follow the YouTubers that are doing the work and not the people that are shining, okay?
Dan, can I get a hold of you on the phone if I was a follower, Chris? Could I somehow get to you?
No.
Would it be hard? I bet I could get to Dan.
I have a consultation link, but
that's what I'm saying. There's a way to get to you.
Oh yeah, I got a consultation link right on my website.
Further and further away, you need to be leery. That's all I'm thinking. Now, if they have 2 million followers, that kind of makes sense. But you meet a guy, you be able to talk to the guy.
Yeah, that's true.
At least somehow.
So I'm a proponent for networking. Now, networking doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money with it. There's a lot of REIA groups that are free to go to on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
If you want to go, if you live in a city environment, if you live in a city environment, there are block associations that you could become a member of. you'll be surprised how much opportunities that gives you. Become the person on the neighborhood that people want to come to for advice or for help. There's, again, if you live in a city environment, the police station, the local police department is going to have like a night where they're going to just discuss how you could protect yourself as well as your property. Put yourself in that room. There's going to be other investors in there. There's going to be old tired landlords in there. There's going to be grandma in there who's tired of having her house. She's thinking about selling it, moving down south next to her daughter. Those are opportunities that doesn't cost you money to be in the beginning, right? And by the way, I still do all that. And then eventually, as you make money, you're going to be better prepared to receive the information when you start paying to go to conferences. Yeah, so you don't have to spend money to put yourself in the room right now.
You got to go. Well, I'm not saying not. I'm saying not to. You decide whether you want to buy or don't buy, right? Mm-hmm. But I guess as I'm getting older, I'm like, dude, if I need to know something, I could call Dan. I've got guys that I can call. They give me the answer just like this, right? That's strictly because of a who, not how perspective that I've learned over time. I have changed from trying to know everything to just knowing the guys that know a lot of stuff, right? So I'm just asking you guys for this new year, change your environment. But Gerald, what I get nervous about is most people could work 9 to 5 and they're asking their employees and their coworkers these questions and they're just not qualified to tell them. And I'm trying to just pull them out of that,
Yeah. I call it the millionaire code. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. It's not about a particular asset class. It's not about we're going to buy this or that. It's not even that. It's the philosophy of not financing crap. Finance things that pay you money, right? Or build equity. And if you just have that, these basic concepts, right? Time times amount times yield. And what happens when you take a $250,000 house that you rent for $1,900 a month, and you do that over 10 years? We can analyze that, and we kind of have roughly, without even doing the board, we kind of know what that is, and get into that process of I love those. I do these conversations, like I do these things at my house, and we go walking, and all we talk about is the millionaire code. I'm not going to tell. They think when they come to my house, I'm going to teach them to trade stocks. No, you can buy my books and courses. When you come sit with me, that's not what you want to know. You want to know what I'm thinking about.
I love it.
Right?
All right, y'all.
That, man.
Subscribe to the channel, like the content, share this with other people that are trying to get out there and get some financial increase. I'll see you next week at 7:30. Forget the Super. I am the Super Bowl. Shit.
Man, come on, man.
Good night, everyone. Gerald, man.